Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Erica. I make videos all about handbags, lifestyle, beauty, and decor. I would love to have you as part of this community. Do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and come visit with me twice a week. That being said though guys, let's get into the video. Hello everyone, welcome back. So guys, if you saw my video last Sunday, if you haven't, I will put it in the description box down below. It was the Spend the Weekend With Me vlog wherein you met my fiance for the first time. And a couple of you asked me to start a wedding series because if you are new, I am getting married in November and I just thought that that would be such a fun series for a couple reasons. One, to share it with you obviously, but two, I think a lot of people have their wedding video and those are phenomenal and they're beautiful, but I can't say how many people have been able to film the entire process from almost the beginning. We've gotten a lot done. You'll hear the story so far to the actual day. So I thought, what a fun way of documenting, you know, kind of step by step what all I've done, and to be able to look back on it later on and to have this available for me to see all of the emotions and all of the things that we did throughout the entire planning process. So you guys are seeing episode 1 of my wedding series. I don't know how many episodes there will be, but I will keep you posted on like big events and things like that as we go along, like tastings. I have a bridesmaids dinner you're gonna come with me for. It'll be really fun, so I'm super excited to share all that with you. But in today's video, I thought I'd catch you up on how we met, the proposal, the things I have done already, and also kind of sharing with you my thoughts on being a bride, because sometimes I feel I'm a little defective. I feel like that's the best word for it. It's probably the worst word for it, but for me it's the best. If you have another word, let me know. But I will explain that thought, that feeling at the very end. But the first thing I'd like to talk about is how DJ and I met. So if you are seeing my channel for the first time, DJ and I have been together 7 years on August 24th. So we've been together a very long time. DJ and I met in, I think, a very typical way of the millennial generation, which was via Facebook. However, I'd like to say that we grew up 5 minutes away from each other, literally. We went to the same middle school, the same high school, and the same college. All three, we didn't know each other. We also ran in very similar social circles, and we still didn't meet that way either. I will admit, I'm a bit of a Sheeta. I am a couple years older. I'm like a year and a half older than DJ. So we were never in the same grade, but we had a huge high school. I graduated with 1,000 people. It's not uncommon around here to still meet people in your graduating class that you didn't know you graduated with. Like, it is very common with where we went to high school, and our college is fairly large too. So again, maybe sounds kind of crazy that we didn't know each other, but not so crazy for our area. So what happened was in 2014, at the very beginning of the year, DJ slid into my DMs, if you will. I actually ended up going ahead and finding that message much later on when we were like dating for 2 or 3 years and we got our first apartment, and I ended up framing it. This was how it all began. So the message says, "Hey there, I'm DJ. I just wanted to drop in and say that you have some seriously striking looks and beautiful eyes," with a smiley face. That was January 31st of 2014. And I had my very quippy, haha, thanks. And I will kind of explain my short quippiness and we'll go from there. So at the time I was going into my last semester of college. I was an extremely busy student. I had taken on a double major and a minor, and I worked nearly full-time at Target. So I was working 35 hours average a week as a cashier and guest service at Target. I was doing 7 classes, so 21 credit hours, and I was a TA at my school, and I was doing a second job, side gig at my school, helping like people learn English. So I was a super busy human. I was just not in the dating mindset. I had been single for a little while at that point, and I had gotten out of a 4-year relationship prior, and I was really like in this mindset where I just really wanted to focus on me. I wanted to find myself, and I wanted to kind of figure out what set my soul on fire. So for about 2 years I was single. I was not in the dating mood. I really liked and enjoyed being single. So at that time, especially with all of my work ahead of me, it just wasn't the time for me. So I was very short, I was very quippy, the haha thanks, but I will say I was so unused to somebody being so forward, and it was both a little like, I was taken aback in a good way, but also it was very refreshing. And I ended up like, you know, I was just like, yeah, I mean, maybe later, I'm busy. And that was my excuse. He actually kind of dotted in, you know, like once a month, once every 2 months, like, are you ready for that date now? And I'd be like, no, I'm busy, I have school. Well, flash forward to July, and I ended up running into him at a local like restaurant bar while I was with a few of my friends, and he came up to me and he introduced himself, and I said, there's no introduction needed. You already know who I am. He goes, no, I don't think I do. And I was a little like taken aback by that. I'm like, of course you know who I am. And he ended up signing me up for karaoke, for which I left before I had to sing. As they were calling my name, I was sashaying away, and you know, I thought I was like rain check, and he ended up starting to like talk to me, and I was like, you know what, I was more of a mindset of dating at that point in time because I was done with school. I was kind of in the transition of finding my full-time job at the time, and I was ready for it. So I ended up like, you know, giving him a chance. And something that I found so striking was it was so easy. I was so used to being in relationships or dating scenarios where you always had to like think about the message, and it was just never as straightforward. It was always double meaning. You always had to think, when do I text this guy back? Is it the right time? Do I wait? Do I play hard to get? With this one, it was just so natural, and I think it was at that point that I kind of knew that this is something very, very different that I was not used to. Our personalities meshed very, very well. I was so used to doing my own thing. DJ is a race car driver by night, engineer by day, and he had been so used to doing his own thing. So DJ and I meshed very well together, but we meshed very well apart too. Like, we are the types of individuals that we really like to maintain our individuality, and that is something that we very much like enjoy about one another. Is like, again, we love spending time together, but we really do well when we're apart. So for him it worked, for me it worked, and I feel like I've always been able to maintain just being Erica too. So that is what I really loved. I did get the question, when did I know that DJ was the one? I actually knew within like the first month. I wrote myself a time capsule letter, and it's somewhere at my parents' house. I have to find it. But I predicted in July of 2014 that this would be the one and we'd be married, and I think 2019. So I overshot the time. Well, I undershot the time. And we are getting married, just not at the time I predicted. But I knew relatively quickly that this was something very, very special and something very different. So with that, many years have gone by, and it was during our year 5. It was right around the time of our anniversary, and I was actually running a marathon. I'm getting into the proposal, by the way. So I was running a marathon, or going to run a marathon. I had signed myself up for the Indianapolis Marathon, and I decided at that point to create a YouTube channel. This was in 2019. It was not the Girl in Pursuit channel, it was a different one, and I was filming my journey. I ended up not, unfortunately, running the marathon simply due to an injury. I just couldn't do it. I did end up doing a 15K, which, going from a non-runner to a 15K was a pretty big deal for me, but that is what I ended up doing. That's besides the point. But the engagement actually was filmed. Leading up to the engagement, we had never really talked about marriage. We had rented our first apartment, lived there for 2 years, and then we bought our first home, and we were in that for about a year. And it just was not something that we really talked much about. I felt like if it was something that he wanted, he would do it. I was very comfortable with where we were. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. If it happened, well, great. I just was never the person to put pressure on him, and I wanted this to be his decision simply because he wanted to make that decision. I did not want to pressure him into something that he didn't feel like doing at the time. And for me, my parents had dated a long time. His parents had dated a long time prior to ever getting married. So long-term dating was just not like something out of our norm norm. Like we just knew it to be like, that's how it was for both sides. So 5 years into dating, it just was what it was. Anyway, so again, I was running and it was a Sunday. It was the day after our anniversary. And we had made plans that day to go on a hike in one of the hiking trails in our local area. We live close to the Indiana Dunes, which has amazing beaches. You wouldn't think so, but they're beautiful. And we decided that day that we were gonna go for a hike. Now, I will say, I am not very good at context clues. Truly, they go right over my head. And I had had a lot of them leading up to it. I had had friends ask me what my ideal engagement ring would be. And I just kind of told them without thinking much about it. And it turns out that DJ had sort of talked to all of them to try and get that out of me, so he knew what kind of ring to buy. And this had been months prior. So he had the ring like 8 months prior to proposing. Then he had started talking about his parents' engagement and the story of that. And again, it just went right over my head. Like I just had no idea. I was just like, oh yeah. So that Sunday I had gotten up super early. I ran 11 miles. I came home and he was like, are you gonna change? Again, with those context clues. I was like, why would I change? We're going hiking. He goes, yeah, you're right. So we decided to, yeah, like I was just in my sticky, messy clothes and he kind of dressed up. He put cologne on, which normally one does not do for hiking. So again, those context clues, just, yeah, didn't get it. And we got to the trail and we had to walk on a very steep hill going up. We did not really think through with this trail and the fact that they said it was for intermediate hikers where we were clearly beginners, but we ended up getting into this really cool patch of beach. And I was filming the entire thing for my YouTube channel because that was a running day. I thought we were gonna have a really cool day. Let's film the whole thing. And so DJ suggested I set my camera up and you know, let's talk about where we were on the hike and how we were feeling. And that, ladies and gents, was when he popped the question. So I will share that clip with you now because I have it on film. So I'm very pleased that I got that on film. Enjoy. What's up, guys? We've made it to the beach.
This is it.
Can you believe this is Northwest Indiana? Crazy. Hidden gems, I swear. So I'm exhausted. How about you?
I'm feeling halfway beat. I gotta keep the other half to get out of here. But.
Yeah. Those hills were intense. Because of this morning, like I had a ton of steps already, so I'm at 32,000 steps.
Which is awesome.
And I'm at 3,000 calories burned, and it is 4:30.
4:30 p.m.
So,
on August
25th.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm feeling good though, feeling accomplished. Yeah, I highly recommend this trail.
Yeah, it's been pretty gorgeous. It was a little rough exiting, coming down onto the beach, but a
lot of sand.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a pretty big weekend. We had our anniversary, 5 years. You know what I mean. So, oops, sorry. No, we celebrated with some friends and stuff yesterday, and it's been a long journey, and it's been awesome, and can't wait to keep going and have many more years of fun.
Yep.
And in order to make that happen, you know, things need to happen that make a difference, you know. So big moments in life, like right now.
What?
Like,
are you for real?
I love you. And I want you to be in my life forever.
Oh my God, are you serious?
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
Will you marry me, Erica?
For real? Oh, of course I will. So as you can see, I was super surprised. I had not expected it. I don't know if it was because I was hot. I had 40,000 steps under my belt by that time. I was a little tired, but honestly, it was like the greatest engagement ever. I was totally surprised. It was just not something I thought would happen. And I think he really surprised me with the timing. Like, it wasn't on our anniversary. and I didn't know when it would be, but I certainly didn't think it would be then. So I loved the surprise aspect of it for sure. Obviously, you could tell I was very surprised. I had no idea it was coming, and I always really wanted a very private engagement. That was something I wanted desperately, and I loved the My Big Fat Greek Wedding engagement. I thought that was so personal, and that is exactly what I wanted. I did not want something where there was a lot of friends and family there. I am a very kind of, you wouldn't think so because I'm sitting here talking about it on YouTube, but I really do, I am kind of a private person in that way, like that romantic side. Like that's something I very much like to keep to myself for sure. So I loved that I was able to get on camera. It's a memory I cherish. I love looking back on it. I think that's so fun, which is again why I love the idea of this series, because I get to look back on it. So that was something very special to have, and I'm very excited and happy that I was doing YouTube at the time, despite the fact that that channel ended up not working out. That was a very, very fun, I mean, worth it just for that moment. So you saw my proposal. Let me show you my ring. Okay guys, you're kind of seeing a little bit, the light's taking away from a lot of it. I will stick a picture somewhere on the screen too so you can see it. I had requested a yellow diamond pear-shaped solitaire ring. As you can tell, pretty much through all of my videos, I'm a very bold type of person. I love color. I love things that are super unique. Not a lot of people have them, and that is exactly the kind of wedding ring or engagement ring I wanted. I want a really cool wedding ring too. I have an idea. I'll actually put that on the screen too. I saw this on Etsy. But anyway, I just wanted something very, very cool. I wanted something just you didn't see every day. So yellow is one of my all-time favorite colors, as we can all guess. And so I wanted a yellow diamond, and oddly enough, after my, the whole proposal, my great aunt saw my ring and she goes, "You'll never believe it, I too had a yellow pear-shaped engagement ring from your uncle, so it must run in the family." So I thought that was kind of neat because I had absolutely no idea. Okay guys, so now to the part of what's been going on this far. So obviously we got engaged in 2019. It's now 2021. And we're still not married. We had the date originally planned for 1/2 of 21, but what we all could never guess that would bring, the world would bring us in 2020, which was a global pandemic. We had made the decision in May of last year to actually postpone the wedding because we just didn't know what January would look like. And for all we knew, it could be great. For all we knew, it could be awful. And truth be told, it was not a great time. Our county was in the red at the time, so 25 people, including wedding staff, would have been able to attend. And that is just not something that we wanted at all. We would have rather waited and have it, where all of our family could attend, rather than have like a 25 capacity wedding. One of the questions for my future video is how many siblings I have. Let's just say I have a larger family. DJ has a large extended family, so it would not have worked. And so we decided to cancel the original wedding date. So we do have quite a bit done now. Our new wedding date is November 26th of 2021, so it is the Friday after Thanksgiving, and I am very excited for this because I love Thanksgiving. It is actually my all-time favorite holiday. I absolutely love the fact that it is kind of the domino effect for the rest of the holiday season. I just feel like I love the cheer, the happiness. I just think it's such a great time of year. So I am very much looking forward to it, and I just found out today from our wedding planner that the Christmas trees will be up at the hall, which is something that I was really, really excited for it in my January wedding, because I was the bride that got to say whether they took the Christmas trees down before the wedding or left them up, and I wanted them up. So I'm so thrilled that they will be at this wedding too. So very excited for that. I'm definitely a kind of a holiday girl. So let me show you some of our, we'll start with the hall because that's what we did first. This was our first hall. When we decided to cancel, they really were not willing to move it to a Saturday, which we were kind of irritated with, and they would not give us our deposit back. They said they would work with us on a Friday with the deposit that we had had pre-existing, but we could not move it to a Saturday unless we wanted to pay more. So not gonna lie, we were a little irritated with that. And what we decided to do was we were going to have it at our new house, because if you know, you know, I actually moved in that time. We sold our old house, moved to a new house with a much bigger yard. However, as we started to crunch the numbers and do all that, it just really wasn't gonna work out. It would technically be cheaper at the hall. So we went back where we had a pre-existing, you know, down payment, and we decided to keep it there. And because most of the halls were booked for Saturday, because we did call around, almost all the halls are booked for every Saturday this year, because as we all know, we're all rescheduling from 2020 into 2021 for the weddings. So it's a huge year to get married, and unfortunately we were not able to get it on a Saturday, but you know what? We're looking forward to a Friday wedding. I think it'll be really fun, and to have the entire weekend to recoup. The next thing is our engagement photos. And now you've seen a few of these if you saw my house tour. I will put more close-up ones somewhere on the screen. I love our photographer. We had actually had some family pictures done like right after engagement, and I hated those photos, for lack of a better term. Like, I just thought I was not thrilled with our photographer whatsoever. This was not the same one, obviously, for our engagement photos. And I actually had said that I was very unhappy with the photos, and she did nothing about it. So I was a little irritated with that for sure. I know a little bit about photography, just enough to be dangerous, I feel like, and I just was not pleased with the quality at all. And so I really learned in my disappointment of those photos to really be picky about my photographer, and I have found an amazing one. Her name is Kay Warner. If you're in the Northwest Indiana area, I highly recommend. She's phenomenal. She's so easy to work with. She's so kind. She messages back right away. Like, she's just so good. She's on the ball. I had started talking to another photographer out in Indianapolis, and she was so difficult to get a hold of. Like, she was very forgetful, and I just like did not feel very comfortable with her. So ultimately I ended up with Kay, and I am so happy I did. I feel like fate puts you at the doorstep where you need to be, and I love her. So she's just done a phenomenal job. I'm so excited for her work with the wedding. We've gotten some ideas going, maybe a Starbucks involved. I'm very thrilled. I'm so excited for this. So I think she's great. I will leave her information in the description box down below if you're interested. I do think she travels as well, so that is something I'm very much looking forward to her for sure. I think she takes stunning photos. Also, we have already gotten our DJ, not the DJ, another DJ. His name is Phil.
Y'all, his name is Fred, okay? It's been that long. His name is Fred. Fred, if you ever watch this, I'm so sorry. I'm really bad with names.
You could tell in his conversations how much he loves music and he loves being a DJ, so I am very much looking forward to him. I kind of have like a set of songs I've like started in my notes. Like, every time I hear a song, I was like, ooh, I'd like that for the wedding. I will put that in my wedding song list.
Something else I forgot to mention regarding the songs of my wedding, I really want to shape the song list and incorporate songs that remind me of certain people or certain events in my life. For example, I studied abroad when I was in college, and two of my very good friends I met on my study abroad, and they're both coming to my wedding. Something that signifies so much of that trip is the Avicii Wake Me Up song, and they know it and I know it. So when that song plays, I hope they remember that time when I met them, and that is really how I like the song list structured. Not only just fun songs, but also songs that bring all of us back to certain times with me and DJ, or me and DJ separately. So I hope they create or bring back memories.
So that's something maybe I'll share with you down the road. I've also chosen we've both chosen our wedding party. DJ has like 10 standing up for him, where I have 7. We've kind of done a little bit of a flip-flop. His best man or woman is his sister, and my man of honor is my brother, and I have a second maid of honor who is my best friend, Daria. You've seen her in a million videos, and I have several other of my friends standing up for me. A lot of them I've been friends with for years and years and years. My bridesmaids and I are actually having a dinner. This is long awaited. So I will take you on that, and I will walk you through what I'm getting them all is like to ask them. They already know, but like I'm getting them gifts for being my bridesmaids. The next thing on the list that has accomplished, guys, is the dress. Yes, I've already bought a dress. I bought 2 dresses actually. So the first dress I was going to wear for the hall. I went with my aunts, and it is a stunning dress. It's beautiful. What ended up happening is, because I fully believed that we were going to get married at our house in October, I don't know if I mentioned that, we were going to get married at the house in October. However, this dress was very much ready for a haul. It's extremely heavy. It weighs a heck of a lot. Like truly, there's a band in the like corset section that will hold you up because the dress is so heavy. This dress really wasn't all that expensive. I actually got it on a super clearance deal. However, it just really wasn't for the outdoor wedding. So I ended up putting it up on Facebook to sell it. So my fiance saw it, and I didn't want to be in a dress that he saw. I mean, ultimately, I probably should have waited to post it on Facebook, but unfortunately that's not the case, and I didn't want him to see me in a dress that like obviously he knew what he would see. I don't know if it's like it's bad juju to me, like I don't know, for each their own. Just for me, it wasn't something I wanted. So I decided that I wanted to get another dress. I did not spend much money on either dress. I do love the dresses I got, both of them, so I'm not like, I don't feel like I shorted myself at all, but I'm very excited for you to see the second dress. I think it's stunning. I got it earlier this year. It's a classic. That's all I'll leave you with. It's a classic. You'll see. You'll see. The last few things we've done, guys, and then I will leave you this. I know this was a very talk video, so thank you for sitting through all of it. I know we will do a Q&A with DJ very soon. I will have him on the couch and we will sit and we will discuss. But the last things we've done is we finalized our guest list, so I'm very excited about that. I think that was like my biggest worry. I think that was like my biggest thing throughout the whole thing so far is the guest list. I think it's so hard. It's so hard to figure out who you want, who you don't want, and you don't want to offend anybody, but at the same time it's just like, I don't know, he would have a huge wedding if he wanted. We're having a big wedding. We have 230 people on our guest list. And for me, I'm very much a private person. I would love something a little smaller, but I feel like, you know, he wanted 400, I wanted 100. So I guess 230, we're sort of meeting in the middle. I don't anticipate that many coming. I guess we'll see, especially right around Thanksgiving. You know, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. My guess is 180. So we'll see what the final numbers come in at. But this is our save the date. So I thought those came out really, really fun. And we just got the save the dates out. So that is all I've done so far. So I will definitely be keeping you up as I go about this journey. I think the next big thing is the bridesmaids dinner, which I'm going to show you a little bit before of how I'm preparing for it, because I have a really, really fun, very personal way that I'm going to be gifting them things. Like, I'm really excited about it. I will share that in another video, and I will like have you introduced to all of them, so you will come with me for that. But the last part of why I feel a bit kind of like a defective bride, I'm making a whole series about this. So I guess it's sort of irony that I feel this way and what I'm about to tell you. But I feel like a lot of my friends who got married were very, what's a really good word for it? They were micromanagers. Like, they met with a million different people, multiple different florists. Like, I'm doing my own flowers. I don't want a florist to do it. I didn't meet with very many DJs. I really only went to 1 or 2 halls. Like, for me, my feeling about the wedding is I really want people to remember how they felt. I want them to walk away thinking that it was such a phenomenal time. They felt really good. They felt very special. They felt like they belonged. Versus what my flowers looked like. I don't really care. I just, obviously, like, I want it to look nice, but I just am not in it for the details. And I feel like a lot of brides very much care for the details, wherein it's not my thing. And I think therein I feel a little defective. That's maybe a very strong word for it, but I just don't feel like I'm a micromanager bride. I'm very go with the flow. My wedding colors, that's something I didn't discuss. My wedding colors are black and gold. My girls will be in black. I've even let them choose their own dresses. I am not going to take them to a David's Bridal or anything else and make them choose a certain style. I just said I want it black, formal, and floor length or ankle length or floor length, whatever. I just don't care. I just want people to feel great, and I just want them to feel very special for being there, and I want them to walk away saying this was one of the greatest nights ever, one of the best weddings I've ever been to. And I can truly say, as a guest of many, many weddings, that I very rarely remember what the dresses looked like. I never remember what the flowers were. I hardly remember the food. So I think for me, it's very difficult being around people who are getting married, that they micromanage every detail, and I think that's great for them. I wish I were that organized. I am not that type of person. I'm very blessed with the bridesmaids I have. They've really kept me on track. Thank you all if you're watching. For me, it's just kind of whatever happens, happens. We'll go with the flow. So I also think that these wedding series are going to be a really good way of kind of keeping my butt in line and to make sure that all things are getting done. So part of this is just a way for me to make sure that I'm doing everything I need to do. So, but yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? Tell me how you were with planning. I have heard that weddings go much smoother when you don't micromanage. So I'm kind of hoping that this attitude really helps me out in the long run. I just feel like also, guys, I have a lot of other things going on my plate. I am very much trying to grow my YouTube channel. This has become something so unbelievably special to me. DJ is trying to really amp up his racing career, and we are just really sort of kind of trailing along in our own things, and you know, just making sure we're great as a couple. And we are very go with the flow type of people. We are not planners. We are very off the cuff, and that's how we roll. So I guess it's almost a dangerous thing that we're both very much the same in that. And yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a journey to get there, and I'm going to take you through all of it. So please, please, please look forward to more of these wedding episodes. Thank you for sitting through this very long video. I will eventually have DJ in one of them, so you will meet him kind of close up. I've gotten some questions that I will absolutely answer more about our dating relationship. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.